complain. But if somebody, Hare Krishna, Mummy, make the television louder. They become demons. Maybe that's a bit extreme, but in the village we saw that people were chanting in the villages. India is a little better than anywhere else. The rest of the world is completely covered by ignorance. They think that life is just chemicals, and by chance a few molecules got together and they started wiggling, and then they became microorganisms, viruses, bacteria, and from that came, the chief minister and the school principal, just by random combination of molecules. Is so-called evolution. No evidence. And this is all refuted in the Vedic literature, but they stopped teaching that long ago. Of course, there were outside influences. The British destroyed so many gurukulas. And even Gurukul, so much technical knowledge of astronomy and astrology and medicine and everything, unless there is proper doctrine behind it, then it's also not recommended. Proper doctrine means to know what is Atma, what is body, and what is Paramatma, who is Krishna. This being a Brahmin, actual Brahmin means Brahmiti, one who knows Brahman is a Brahmin. So who knows Brahman among the Brahmins? Not only now, even hundreds of years ago. How many know Brahman? If you know Brahman, then you do kirtan. So we are actually in better position as far as, or more justified in claiming some connection to Brahmanism than they are. Although they were, there's so many sadachars and that. At least we should be. Some of you are. Everybody should get up early and take bath and read Prabhupada's books before thinking of going to school or anything else, if you have to go to school. Oh. And another aspect of modern science, psychology. Where psychology is there, actually it says in Bhagavatam or Krishna book that among all the arts and science that Krishna and his associates in Gokul Vrindavan, the psychology is the top. You see, in Krishna book you read about the gopis. They are psychoanalyzing Krishna. This boy, he thinks like this. He thinks we are this. You read it. It's all very fine psychological analysis. Okay, that's on the absolute plane. It's not speculation there. But modern psychology is all concoction, more or less. I mean, they observe some phenomena that, and they label it. My sister was a psychologist, where she used to come home and tell my mother that her girlfriend, she's suffering from an inferiority complex. That's actually good. Because, of course, she was thinking that inferior in what sense? Inferior in relation to what? That girl was not interested in dating and socializing and going to parties. And that's good, because but the diagnosis is, oh, she's suffering from inferiority complex. I used to overhear this, so it was, in a way, my good fortune. Because I could later on I could analyze the psychology that the Shastras teach, and correlate it with this. You see, in modern ethos is that if you can impress many people and have many admirers, then you're qualified, isn't it? So that's the whole fashion industry runs on that. You have to buy these clothes, some branded Peter Japan shirt or something like that. Peter England. Who's Peter England? That cost. I saw somebody on Facebook an advertisement or somewhere clearing first-class shirts, 70 rupees each, in Delhi. Some big. Maybe it's cheating, but they're advertising. Where Peter England's shirt costs 1,000. How much is a branded shirt in the mall there? How much does it cost?
2,800.
2,000? Wow, you see? But they have captured you. Some poor fellows are working, laborers, and they saved, and they go and buy that shirt. See, they are defeated by modern capitalism, mind control, and in the same way they're getting you to queue up for a lethal injection, and to keep all the bacteria inside your mouth with a piece of cloth. They're convincing you, and you're going along with it. So it's good that you are listening to me. Nobody talks like this except people like me, that is, devotees who are followers of the Acharya. Prabhupada taught. It's very nice to talk about Krishna. He's standing with a flute and gopis are there and cows. But he said better than that is to expose the nonsense, to expose the cheating government people, the cheating scientists. That is better. So I practice that, as you can see. That's my preaching. You go to the ISKCON temple in Bangalore?
Yeah, there's one more new one.
There are two, or maybe even three.
The second one, the new one, is close to mine.
Oh, I don't know. On Cord Road, which is that?
First of Cord Road, that's
Huh?
first one, the old one.
The old one. I was there before that was built in Bangalore. And I know the leader of that. I try to talk to him, but he doesn't listen much to this kind of thing. And I saw a video of pilgrims, people coming to the temple, and they all have masks. So I called him up. I said, look, he said, what do you want to talk about? I said, COVID. He says, I'll call you back tomorrow. He never called me. So this is actually should be our main activity, to expose the false education and false knowledge that is being spread. It's difficult. Well, there's actually this Mr. Elon Musk, it seems he is coming out and saying things on different topics. He's the richest man in the world, so he can, when he talks, they listen, because if they don't listen, he fires the whole company. So he's coming out and criticizing the government policy on COVID and other things. I just read maybe on Ukraine also, on lead topics. That's good. It's Krishna's arrangement. And he's empowered. Maybe if anybody knows more, they can share some links with me. I'm interested in hearing what he's saying.
Usually tweets. Usually tweets.
Pardon?
He tweets in Twitter. No.
He tweets in Twitter.
What?
He tweets in Twitter.
Twitter, yes. So I should join Twitter. I have, maybe I'm somewhere once joined, but dormant. Okay. So, what is the time now? Huh?
8:30.
8:30. Somebody has gone downstairs to see about Prasadam? I think somebody went out just now. No, there's Singapore. Seattle Mataji, I call her. So any questions or comments? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Hare Rama, Hare.
So,
Oh, any questions or comments? Speak loud.
In new education policy, they are introducing Bhagavad Gita.
Which policy?
New education policy.
Ocha?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
But only few slokas.
Oh,
Only selected.
there has to be proper explanation. Mhm. And they
opposite party is protesting to include other religious books also.
other religions, the religions of peace, religion of crucifying your guru, acharya. And killing animals. And that's religion. See, what is Sikhism? Sikhism is 7 things. Dadi, what do you call,
Pagdi. Turban. Pagdi.
turban, and kirpal, and this and that. That is, what is that? They have some good things. Guru Granth talks about Rama and Krishna, and they do kirtan, and they distribute prasadam. But their kirtan is not pure, because it's not just devotional, it's just tradition. I mean, Smartas, they also have very good practices, but it's just tradition. They have no, they don't refer to Shastra. And to refer to Shastra, you have to have proper guidance, because different Shastras, even compiled by the same, say, Vedavyas, they say different things. They had earlier and they had later Shastras, and the later ones supersede the earlier ones. So, on subjects like worshipping devatas and ultimately Vedavyas, who is the compiler of the Vedas, he wrote the Bhagavatam, where everything other than devotional service to Krishna is practically condemned. In Kali Yuga, it's not possible to practice meditation or yagyas or even deity worship. Doesn't mean we don't do, but it's difficult. Radha Vinod tells me that Vrindavan, I haven't been there in 30 years maybe. Now it's just like high-tech city. There's 20-story apartment buildings in Vrindavan. Anybody been there? You were there last year. Is it big apartments?
Far away. They're far away.
Far away. And they paved over the Parikram path.
Yeah.
I remember the Parikram was dust, very fine dust, and that's where Krishna walked. I have some on the altar. And now you have to break the asphalt to get some. And it become very expensive. He told me these apartments, people buy them just so they can go and stay in Vrindavan for a few days whenever they like. They spend lakhs and lakhs on the apartments, they're empty all year.
Yes.
So how? But on the other hand, if we read the books and we understand the teachings of the Goswamis, the Acharyas who lived in Vrindavan, then wherever we are, that's Vrindavan. If we can understand the teachings of the Rupa Goswami, then we can be Krishna conscious anywhere, and particularly Krishna conscious means to also visualize Krishna's leelas, pastimes in Vrindavan, and that anywhere we can do. So that's what we want. It's very difficult here. It may be quiet now, but there's more dogs in this area than anywhere in Hyderabad. And people, street dogs. And then some rich fellow, he has bought a foreign dog, and he takes it out for a walk in the evening, and all the other dogs go crazy. It didn't happen tonight for some reason. Maybe it was a power failure. So we should read the books, and we try to have this perspective. Because Krishna is of course, Vrindavan and other holy places are places where it's easier to remember Krishna. At least Vrindavan used to be. You say the apartments are outside the village. That's good, something. But they shouldn't have paved the Parakram path. There's no need of doing that. But anywhere we are, even in Ramanreti, part of Vrindavan, people come with their cars, and because of cars, the government has said, oh, you have to, move your compound wall in. That's nonsense. They cause disturbance even in the core of Vrindavan. But I was happy to see pictures of Loy Bazaar still as it was in other parts. But near Krishna Balaram temple, they forced them to break the compound wall and move it 10 feet or something. I'll tell something I've not told before. This is just by free association, talking about Krishna Balaram temple compound wall. When the Samadhi was being built, between the Samadhi building and the compound wall, there was like a tank for soaking the marble. Yes? So, it's about 10 feet long and 6 feet wide and 6 feet deep, and all sheets of marble were soaking in that. So it was holy. Where they throw color? Oh. So some ISKCON devotees very smart. See, other people, they just buy some powder and they throw it at you and put it on your face. They say, why? This is small time. So they poured colored powder into the tank, and they took a bucket and dipped it in and then went out in the street and stopped the car. I saw with my own eyes, and one Fiat stopped. They opened the driver's door, threw the bucket in, and then closed the door and waved him off. That is really something. So this, you can stop your shooting. Is Prasadam ready?